Hello everyone and welcome to cheekytek. Okay, so this is going to be a completely different video than I normally do, and I'm not going to be in front of the camera on this one. Just basically going to touch on a couple of things that I'm doing, basically show you a couple of projects that I've started in the last couple of days, and I just thought I'd share them with you guys, and obviously just give you a little rundown on the yellow banana you can see to the left there. So before I go any further, I just would like to say a massive thank you to a lot of people out there that have supported me in their comments and stuff in the last couple of weeks, and they know who they are. As you can see, the yellow management train to the left there, this was a set of 6 that I actually made, and this is the final set that I've got, which I actually made up for Dad, and he had it on his layout for a little while, and then he boxed it up, so it sat there in pristine condition. We've got it back here to give it a good oil up and get it all running again, because it runs, but it just needs a good service. When they sit there for a while, the oil dries up and it needs to be maintained. I've also got a couple of little bits to do to this, which I won't do at the moment. Maybe the end of the year I will get this, up and running, probably by November time, Christmas time. That's where I probably aim to. I probably won't touch it for a while now, but I need to change the front lights to LEDs and the back lights to LEDs, because they're actually grain of wheat bulbs. Grain of wheat bulbs are good on some things, but they get hot and they melt plastic, and they draw a lot of current, so I don't want them. I need to take them out. The other thing I need to address is the middle coach is actually sitting too high, and it's the first time I've actually seen it to actually realise how high it sits. So I shall probably put some lower wheels in there, some smaller gauge wheels, as opposed to the ones that are in there, or I'll just trying to bring the body down a little bit. But I've got some plans on how to do that. May tint the windows as well. So that's some fettling I might do on that. I won't change the colour of the roof to grey. At the time I made this, I saw one in black, and I'd done it all in black, but I've actually recently seen that the roofs are all like a very browny grey, so it will stay as is, because that's the way the model was made, and that's how it was intended from day one. So that's really our HST, and I will get it up and running and bomb it around the track. But obviously that's to come in a good few months' time, because it's going to be busy. Got lots of things going on. So we've got a couple of projects we've done. So anyway, let's fade down and see where we are. So those of you that can remember back when I actually built this depot, I did the flooring, and it was always in my mind to finish the flooring off and do it a little bit different. I was going to do a service pit in the middle there, and it was certainly something I was going to add, but I have actually added a service pit to my other depot over down the other end, so they can go underneath to look at the wheels and stuff and service the locos or carriages. So this one will have flooring, and this is wheels kit plastic card. I've actually steamed ahead and made some flooring that's going to actually fit into there, and I've got another bit. So what I'll do is I'll get some glue and we'll pan that. I've just smoothed that off with some sandpaper. And I use a lot of this all-purpose stuff. It pretty much works for me, so I'll stick it on there without getting a mess, and we'll just dab it on. It's actually real good glue, and it's if you make a mistake, you can actually easily prise it off and start again. So that's why I really like this stuff. It's solvent based, so it edges into the plastic, but it's got like a rubber compound, so it's sort of quite got a good adhesion. So let's spin that over. I've glued this already. That's why I've got this far. You didn't watch me glue this to pieces and cut it all up, because it was too fiddly. Now by sticking that in there, the best thing to do at this stage is get a little wagon and roll it down, if I can get it on the right thing. There we go. Get it in position while I'm gluing it, because otherwise it will not be correct. Just move that slightly that way. We need something with a bit of weight in it, but that's doing good. That's certainly sticking where it should be sticking. Excuse my fingers and my arms, but that's now press that into shape. So I'll just hold that down for a couple of minutes. So this is all Will's paved flooring that I'm adding. Line that up, and I shall paint it probably a greyish colour, just to match it all in. I was going to do a brick effect, but I had a lot of this Will's bits and pieces hanging over as on a sheet form, so I thought I'd actually use them up. Paved area, I should say. That's going quite well. And then while that's what I'll do, I can't really put any weight on that. Have we got any weights? I have, but they're not going to be enough to push that down. Let's try that one. That one there. We'll skip that one on there for a second. That's it. We'll put that on top of that. So what I'll do is I'll let this set for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back so we can sort of see where we've got to next. Well, it's been half an hour, and it's time to maneuver or take off the weights, get rid of them. So it should be right now. Let's have a look. Right, so I've got that bit into place, and I've got this bit here. The plastic card actually fits just about 2 or 3 thousandths of an inch, just shy underneath the rail at the top this side. So I get all the pickup here off the wheels as they go over. This bit in the middle, there is more of a gap. These are actually sunk down a lot more in the middle. So the profile is higher here, lower in the middle, and then again same level this side to that side. I saw Tony Northeastern do cobblestones on a depot, on his diesel depot, so again do check that out. He had a great tip of the chairs of the rail. They actually catch and were pushing the plastic card away, so he had a great fix by sculpting out a line down the side there and getting a bit of a angle on it, and then therefore the plastic card fitted very snug against the rail without any problems. So let's do this other bit. Let's put that into there. We'll get this in, and then we can look about colouring it up, put some paint on it, and then redressing it back to as it was before. This is again this glue that I like using. It's a very quick drying stuff, which means you can get on with modelling a lot quicker. It's a bit cold down the old shed here, which does affect the drying times of glue. So, but this is a solvent, all-purpose, and it does sort of dry with the atmosphere, so it certainly helps as opposed to water-based glues. Right, so I'm going to manipulate that into place, a little bit of fettling, get that to there, and that's going to be a bit too high, I think. No, that's alright, that's cool. Just manoeuvre it into shape and press that down. Right, I'm going to keep pressing this down for a couple of minutes, probably get that to nicely fix, and then just do a quick test with the truck. That's absolutely fine. The truck runs nicely in there, no bouncing about, nice even push. That's what we want. So I'm going to weight this down and let this glue for about 30 minutes, and then we might be able to get some paint on it. We'll have a look. Might put a bit more glue under that bit there. I really want that corner to stick. This is going to be the tricky part. So I'm going to get a little screwdriver and lift that corner up without breaking too much. Again, this glue is really good for grabbing fast. There we go. Give that a little squeeze and a little wiggle. Put the lid on the glue. You can see that's taken already. Certainly will do the trick. So it's been 30 minutes, just over that, so I'll take these weights off. These are very good kitchen scale weights. I got these at a boot fair. Paid about £3 for these, and they'd be really handy. I just chuck them on whatever I'm gluing down and they do the job. So it is a good fix, yeah. Right, so what have we got? That's that nicely tucked down. Gonna run the wagon over just to perfect. Check that all works. Just check it there. Give that a good push. So that really is our flooring. So that's all in place. All we need to do now is to paint it the colours we want, which is scary. No. So let's get on and paint them up. I've just got some grey, so this is PVA, like Tony did with his cobbles, PVA and some black, and I just painted it in. And I've done that and I let it dry for about literally 5 minutes, just to sort of etch itself in a bit, and then I got a little rag and then just wiped it away, just to leave the definition of smeariness and a little bit of grey in the gaps there. So that is what I've done, and I'll bring that closer to the camera. If I could just focus for you, there you go. See, you should, there you go, see what it's like, so you get that nice sort of deepness. So I'm actually now that's just dried in a bit, I'm gonna paint some black on top of this. This is black acrylic, again same recipes as Tony used, and these are rail match acrylics, which I'm going to give another shake first. I can take it off the camera because I'll blind you all. Right, so let's give it a good old shake. Always shake your paints, will stir them up. And then we're going to use what's in the lid, I think, first. So we want it really blackish in there, because that's where all the grease and things will happen. And I just want to cover the edges more than anything at this point. Just want to get that right on the edge, and because it's acrylic, a little damp cloth will take all that off there. And again, I'm just going to take that down into there. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see a little bit closer. Bear with me a second. There you go. So I'm just going to check that, yeah. And then we're going to have a bit of grease over here, so it's going to be oily. And then we've got some patches of grease going from there like that, and that's what we're going to do. That'll all fade off. I'm going to let that dry in for just a few seconds and push that paint right down into that. Put that little light on there, that's it. Again, using the acrylic, which is rail match acrylic, just going to push that into the top of there. Gonna do little smudges there. Gonna have the workbench over here, so we'll have some sort of pattern. Here we go. Right, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit for a minute, and then I'm gonna wipe that off. So this is like a process really. So I'm gonna let that dry, and I'm going to wipe that off again before it gets too dry, and then it should, let's just bring that into that light, it should sort of leave an effect. That's a greyness, there we go. So it's going to leave me this kind of effect. It's starting to, so let's just move that one out of the way. Take it up and down, and then just down the center, and just move that around there. I don't want a yellowy floor, more a grey floor. This is the effect I want to get, and do that over there. A feathering of change for a bit of a cleaner tissue, a bit of rag I should say. Let's do that over there, and just doing little circle motions and dragging that colour through. There we go. Now being a little bit lighter through the middle, and that is really where I want it to go. A bit more there. I'm going to change hands, otherwise I'm going to be in the way here. So really easy techniques, and just going to go off there, because if you've got grease there, then they would have walked that down onto the tarmac. That would have walked on that area, make it look a bit greasy, because there's a door there. Let's just feather that off, bring that back into the little cracks into the pavement. And that's starting to dry in now. It's actually just nipping into the plastic. You can just feel it. So just gonna, that's going to be a little bit more worn away because that's an entrance. That's it. It's still wet there. And I shall touch up the rails at the end once I've got everything where it should be. That's that. I'm going to go a bit more on the black. Just building it up in layers now. That little bit sticking up. That shouldn't be a problem because the trains don't actually run on the plastic, they run on the rail, so it shouldn't be a problem. Oh, I couldn't get the lid opening. That'd be bionic to open the lid. I've got some little splattery. I might run the airbrush gun over it, but I'm trying not to use the air gun because not everyone can use air guns, you know, airbrushes, and you know, sometimes it's just easy to use a paintbrush. So I'm trying to give the kind of effect you'd get with an airbrush, but just using a paintbrush. I'm sure I just said that 3 times. Okay. There's some oil leaking there because they keep getting that loco in that just leaks its oil everywhere. If you just feather the brush, stipple it as if you're dry brushing, so as you're dabbing, and it will take off all the paint that's on the brush as you'll bring it back and moving it around, and it will start doing I can't speak tonight, a dry brushing effect, which is where it's doing now. You're getting that less of a colour, but it's giving a definition, and you just want that to dry in a bit. So just give that a little push and a wipe, give that back, pushing a little bit harder now, just pushing that in. There we go. I think that's certainly, this is the hardest bit. There we go. And that would be pretty dirty, that corner, because that's where everybody walks in with their muddy boots in the morning. So I think that's pretty good. I think I might leave that there, give that just a pull through there. So let's have a look. That's what we've got. I think that's pretty good. And if we crash our little thing down there, and that will actually sit in there. That's the plan, I think. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. So that's that. And if we bring our locos in, I won't put the one that we always show because you probably get sick and tired of that. We'll do the one, that one there. Oh, burp, burp. And a horn on cue. There we go. Let's roll that one back. So now you can see our loco sitting there. So I'll bring the camera down and give that a little bit of raise. And if we just dress some of these bits back on there, and then you can see what that would actually look like with our little platform there. And we put our tools there. I have our workbench over there. So we're moving back there. Have that back there. There we go. And then what should we do? Put that over there. That's our lifting gear. We'll have him over there. Okay, so let's put that there and show you what we've got without putting all the mateys in. So, as you can see, automatically it looks a lot better, and I've still got a lot to do, but I'll carry on and I'll add some bits. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I've got to do something to that floor down there, so I need to tidy that up, but that looks good. Certainly looks like a machine shop now, and the flooring looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. Well, I've just been playing around with this some little bits and pieces, and I've just done a few finishing touches. So I've now finished with the paving stone floor. I've added some little details down here where the door is. I've a little slab there, and I've added some little corner pieces just here to just tie it in, and just made that look a little bit neater than it was. So let's lift off the roof of the engine depot, and then you can see inside, and I'll show you how I've dressed it with tools and things. Let's pull that off. So as you can see, I've put the little mateys back in, they're now in place, and added some little paint pots. So these were made with, I actually made these on PowerPoint, and I cut them to the size of a paint pot in, you know, scale terms down to 00 gauge. And I've just rolled them around a 2mm drill bit, and then glued them in shape, and then added a little bit of paint on the top, and that's how I've made these little paint pots. Then I've added a little hook there, little tool. There's another little tool there used on brake vans and stuff, so I'll put that on top of this water butt. I've moved these steps. They were originally right down the back over here, and I've moved them forward right to here now, so they're a little better placed than they were. If we drag the loco out, you'll see the entirety of the paved area. Just move him out of the way. There we go. So when that's refocused, there you go. You've got the lifting jack on our little floor area. It's all paved now, and that certainly is better than the burgundy floor that I originally went with, that I really liked, but it just you try things and you live with it and you look at it, and it just wasn't right. Every time I looked on film, looked back at pictures, I just didn't like the actual overall look. But I'm happy with it now, and I would actually say this now is complete and finished, this area. So there we go, our paved slab area using wheels, paving stones, and it's certainly a good little touch, and it's quite quick and easy to do, really easy to do. And when you weather them up with dirt and that, it will hide any little protrusions or edges or little bits cut in it, and literally just covers it all in. So it is actually a great disguise doing that. So there we go, guys, going to leave you with that one. So this is a little area that I was planning to change and do something with, and I didn't know what to do. I rescued the cornflake box from going in the recycle this morning, and I thought I'd come down and have a little look and get some ideas. And I constructed something that I want to put in this corner. I was going to put some houses or some sort of factory unit or something like that. I was planning to do a little depot thing, but I thought you've got to look at the landscape with the railway. If you start putting too much stuff, too much detail, sometimes your eye distracts from the actual layout itself, and it can just look very messy. With that reason in mind, I'm planning to put some sort of wall or bridge kind of thing. That's where my thought is. So with a cornflake box, as I said, I rescued this morning, I made a little template. This is purely just to give me an idea. It's got a little bit damp now because I've done this a couple of days ago. Just putting it back on to give you guys some ideas. So I made a little template like this, and just to sort of give me an idea, a visual look, and sometimes that can help distract the eye from what you're seeing to what you possibly could see. So I've created that. It's given me an idea, so that's going to go in the bin now, back where it belongs. And with that, this was a little piece that I made up, not the wood. This is a little piece I'm going to put in here that I made from my other layouts, Watlington Bridge, many years ago, and it was a corner piece. And actually I cut it off the layout, and it's just been hanging around. So I thought I'd put that in the corner there. And the reason why I've put the wood there is just to elevate it up, so it's not sitting too low, and it will give a little bit of distance. If I could dress it, make it taller, but for the reason what this is actually just a small mound. So already that little mound is matching in quite nicely. I need to tie the colours in between there and here, so that's another thing I shall do. And then I had a retaining wall. This is just made out of balsa wood, and then it's got a brick paper effect that's actually stuck onto it, and I don't really want to throw it away, but it actually fits quite nicely in this little recess here. So if I sort of measure it up to there, I've already drawn a line so I know where it goes. So you can see automatically the landscape is changing its look, and I'm going to put a couple of these trees. I'm only going to put these down in for a minute. I'm not actually going to secure them. Just only to get a visual look. Once I've got what I'm looking at, I shall secure these in place. I bet they fall over. So that gives me a better look already. And as you can see, it certainly gives a more of a natural look, a natural feel, as opposed to just something dumped in the corner. Now, again with the balsa wood, I made this little frame. It's a bit delicate, but this is a little frame that goes in here, and that will create a little bridge bit. That's my plan. And then I've got a little bit of cardboard again from the cornflake box just to sit on top. Now this will create a little tunnel here. Might have like a road theme going on here to a little houses or village or something. Again, I'm not sure as yet. These things develop and take shape as you sort of progress. And this will be the section that goes from here right across to the door, which is, I'll actually move the camera so you can see, bring that around there. So this is the door section. And now if I can take this out, so you can see it goes round there, and then you've got the bridge section there, and then this will go where I've got this tunnel, which I'll extend to here, and then from this little bit here, that's where it folds up, this will be another section that goes across, and this section here will pull out. That's the whole idea, and that is the section of the door. So you see it goes from there, and it'll go down to that bit there. So I've got a little bit of work to do over there, and then we'll do this corner here. So obviously this will probably come along a little bit high, come down to another tunnel down this side, and then probably have a little station effect, so you can go down from an underground station down to a normal station, which brings it down to this station down here. So that should tie it all in. That's the theory, you know, the plan, however it works. But for now, that's where I've got to at the moment, and I'm quite happy the way that this is looking at the moment. And I say I shall dress this with plastic card. I've got loads of plastic cards, so I can sort that out. But obviously, just something to keep me busy, something to try and do. Another little project is the crewman's hut, which I got here. For the work guys, they can turn up and then park their cars, go in here, make a cup of tea, get changed their overalls, and go and do some work. Now this was a little hut that I saw on Tony Northeastern's layout, and he's actually got one green as a Bachmann hut, a little bit different to this. But you know me, I like to make my own, and this is the one that I made. I've just got some white plastic. Sorry, I've got some white plastic card. If I can pull the roof off, there we go. There we go. So it's just got some white plastic card, and just sort of built a terrapin sort of shape, you know, sort of rooms and doors, quite easy really, just a box, added bits. Got some clear plastic packaging, you know, the plasticky stuff, you can just see it there, and I've just painted or drawn a white frame around it. You can see it's quite rough, but when you look from the other side, you can barely see. It just looks like a window frame, so that's really what it looks like. And then the meshing is Halford's car mesh that I've just sort of manipulated into a sort of little V shape, as if the window's open. So yeah, it creates a bit of detail. And then the brass steps, so just little brass rods, and I've just soldered them into shape, made a little platform, cut the door out, recessed the door, and then it gives you your crewman's hut. The roof is made of corrugated plastic. This is the same corrugation as I bought on here, so exactly the same. So this sheet has actually gone a nice long way. Sort of different things you can do with it. I can't remember the price, but it really wasn't that expensive, this corrugated stuff, so it's really good to keep using up. And I can see I've just made a couple of feet on the roof, if that makes sense, just so it holds it into space like that. That's it. So there is my little crewman's hut, and if you want to see more like this, go to Tony Northeastern's channel, and you'll see he's just done a cobblestone, a new depot that he's done, diesel depot, and you'll see little features like this little line hut, this sort of workman's hut, and other things that he's added. So really do check out Tony's channel, it's very inspiring. So thanks Tony for your tips. Anyway guys, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys. Won't be so many videos out at the moment, it's going to be a little bit quiet, but I'm sure you guys understand. Anyway, take care you guys, look after yourselves, and I shall catch you very soon, and I promise I'll keep in touch. Cheerio, catch you soon guys, thanks a lot, bye.